जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Welcome devotees, whosoever is here, very few numbers, but thank you for coming and supporting. Some of you are just my friends and here to support me. Thank you, I needed you. Thank you for coming for this class, all of you. Welcome to all of you. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are in chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Today's verse is 20. So first I'll recite the verse of the verse also. First we'll say one by word, then one line, one pada at a time, and you can say responsively. Traividya Mam Somapaha Putapapa Yagge Rishtva Swargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divi Deva Bhogan. Now I'll recite one pada and you can say responsively. So I'll do that 3 times and then devotees can take the lead. Traividya Mama Soma Paputa Papa Yagge Rishta Sargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mam Soma Paputa Papa Yagge Rishtva Swargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mama Soma Paputa Papa Yagge Rishtva Swargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mam Soma Paputa Papa Yagge Rishtva Swargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mama Soma Paputa Papa Yogge Rishtva Swargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mama Soma Paputa Papa Yagge Rishtva Sargatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan Traividya Mam Soma Paputa Papa यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्. Traividya, the knower of three Vedas. Mam, me. Somapa, drinkers of Soma juice. Puta, purified. Papaha, of sins. Yagyai, with sacrifices. Ishtva, worshipping. Swagatim, passage to heaven. Prarthayante, pray for. Te, they. Punyam, pious. Asadya, attaining. Sura Indra, of Indra. Lokam, the world. Ashnanti, enjoy. Divyan, celestial. Divi, in heaven. Deva Bhogan, the pleasures of the gods. The god is with G, small g. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Purport: the word Traividya refers to the three Vedas, Sam, Yajur and Rig. A Brahmana who has studied these three Vedas is called a Trivedi. Anyone who is very much attached to knowledge derived from these three Vedas is respected in society. Unfortunately, many great scholars of Vedas do not know the ultimate purport of studying them. Therefore, Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal of three Vedis. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Devotional service begins with the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students of Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such endeavor, the worshippers of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of lower qualities of nature and are thereby elevated to the higher planetary systems or heavenly planets known as Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, etc. Once situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Unmilintam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsham. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'll say two more prayers. Durga me pati me andhasya, skhalat padgatir muhur, swakripa yashti danena, santa santu avalambanan. The meaning of this verse is, it is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think Adi Leela. The path is difficult and my steps are, I'm slipping again and again. Durga me pati me andhasya, and I'm slipping again and again. And the path is difficult. Durga me pati me andhasya skalat padgatir muh. Again and again. Swa kripa yashti danena. Santa santu avle. So, O saintly devotees, all of you saintly devotees, please bless me with the stick of your mercy. I need your support. Please bless me that I speak something useful, which is beneficial for both of us and for my purification. And one more. Yasya prasadat agyopi sadyo sarvagyatam vrajit sa Shri Chaitanya Devo Bhagavan samprasidatum. By Lord Chaitanya's mercy, even a fool can become most intelligent. I was giving Bhagavad Gita class, I think either 2 years back or 3 years back something. Either 2020 December to February, day before Nityanand Trayodashi on 22, or if I started on 21 December, then it is 23 I finished. So I don't remember exactly, but then for some reason I stopped. And today I'm happy to be back here. I am through a difficult phase, and if I would have said this earlier, it would have been just a formality. But today, with real humility, I want to pray all of you that may I be able to keep my focus and speak something useful. So please bless me and pray for me that this few minutes what we spend together is useful. In the VTE Student's Handbook for Bhakti Shastri, Chapter 9 has following breakdown. First 3 verses speaks about hearing about Krishna, qualifications and disqualification. Then 4 to 10 speaks about Krishna's inconceivable relationship with the material world. 11 to 19, non-worshippers and worshippers. Next is comparing demigod worshippers and devotees. So today we are in this section 20 to 28. So we are in this first verse of this, demigod worshippers. And last section is glories of directly worshipping Krishna. So in this section, demigod worship which neglect Krishna as supreme enjoyer is improper and causes fall down. Devotees of Krishna, however, are personally protected by Krishna, who helps them achieve his association. Krishna accepts his devotees' offerings which are given in devotion. In verse 26, that is not covered today. So this is the section we are going to talk about. And this verse is talking about 3 Vedis. And Prabhupada speaks about, in the purport, he is talking about 2 kind of 3 Vedis. One is who actually miss the actual goal. They study 3 Vedas, but they do not understand. We understand, and there is one interesting sentence here. Prabhupada writes, therefore Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal of 3 Vedis. When I got the verse from the devotee who is assigning class for Mataji's, I quickly read through the verse and purport to understand whether I'll be able to speak on this. And I thought, where is this? Actually, Krishna says in 15:15, Vedescha sarve rahameva vedyam. It's nowhere close to that. But it is talking about at least indirectly worship me. That's why Prabhupada very kindly, like even when the verses are about Jnana Yoga, Prabhupada says what is nice about Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada always knew what is the goal, and he was always speaking about Bhakti Yoga. So similarly like that, he says, therefore Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal of three Vedis, although it is not exactly like way it is said in 15:15. And Bhagavad Gita 4:10 gives us what is the goal of worshipping Krishna. Let's go back to 4:10. I'll just read it is not exactly like that, but it gives the goal of pure devotional service. 4:10. Yeah. So the verse is Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mam Upashrita Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Puta Madbhavam Agataha. So the translation is being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by my knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So this is giving kind of goal. Anyway, so Prabhupada speaks about two kind of Trivedis. One who actually missed the point, and also he is additionally speaking in his usual sweet mood about those who do not miss the point. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Although Prabhupada is referring to this class also, but this verse is not referring to those. Because this verse is dealing with those who will miss the point, because the next verse says they will ultimately fall down. So it is about those people, Trivedis, who are kind of karma kandis. They study three Vedas and they think demigods independent of Krishna. They worship the demigods, they do not understand Krishna is the goal. They worship demigods independent of Krishna. This is what is taught, Krishna speaks about in several places in Bhagavad Gita. This is wrong. Otherwise, even the demigods are empowered administrators of universal affairs. But it is like post, like somebody becomes MLA, MP. So they have some post, they have some power for a short while. But then after a certain period in this world, this I think whether it's central MP or even in legislative, in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, or even this legislative assembly tenure is 5 years. There the period is different, but it is a limited period. So these demigods are empowered administrators of universal affairs on behalf of Krishna. And we also know they are Jiva. They are not Vishnu Tattva. They are also devotees, but they are mixed devotees. So this verse is speaking about those. Yeah, another important point in this word is Somapa. Sometimes people think Soma juice as something like, because it is somewhat intoxicating, they think it is liquor. But it is not exactly liquor, because what happens by drinking liquor is people get putrefied. They are degraded. Whereas what this verse says, Soma pa puta papa, they are purified. So it is not exactly same as what people generally think that Soma juice is like a liquor. Although it has some intoxicating effect, but it is not degrading intoxication. And then what happens is, so those who miss the point, what do? They reach Swarga planets. And after reaching Swarga planets, they prarthayanta, they pray. And then what happens is, then they reach the further higher planets, Punyam Asadhya Surendra Lokam. So like they may reach the planet of Indra, Mahalok, Janalok, all these upper planets. And then there they enjoy celestial years, many long years according to calculations of this planet. Otherwise, even that planet, they enjoy a lot. And like tomorrow's verse will say, but after their pious credits are finished, they fall down. So we have been warned that we should not want all these temporary benefits, and we should want to reach Krishna, because Krishna says, Yad gatva na nivartante. This is the difference. in worshipping Krishna and worshipping demigods. We are not against demigods. We do not, because they are also devotees, although mixed devotees. We are also not pure devotees. We are supposed to become pure devotees. We are nowhere close to pure devotees. Although Prabhupada wanted us to become pure devotees, but it's a lofty goal. And Srila Prabhupada, yeah, so I now move on to another level, away from this, what Prabhupada speaks in this Parpat. Srila Prabhupada came to give us the highest. He came to give us a program, and which is a very genuine program. We can see so many people have achieved such transcendental level. He came to give us a program which is very authorized as per Shastra, which was started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but as Krishna says, this is lost over a period of time. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, but it was lost. Again, Bhakti Vinod Thakur and even before him, slowly they started reviving from Jiva Goswamis. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, revived again, Goswamis came. Then again it gets lost. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur revived, even some kind before him also, but Bhakti Vinod Thakur really took it to another level. We cannot believe what he did in his lifetime. He wrote books in English, although Prabhupada was asked to write book in English and preach. Bhakti Vinod Thakur could not go abroad, but he wrote books, and what he did, we cannot imagine. We know what was his post. He was deputy magistrate. I think he was magistrate, and of such caliber that even British government, they respected him. And because of him, he wanted to be in Nadia, so for that rail line was made for him, because they did not want him to take retirement from job. Okay, be there and do because he was such empowered that in spite of when he became, like he was, I heard recently that even Bhakti Vinod Thakur, not just he had such a huge family, like he looked like a materialist. How Krishna's ways are, it is amazing. Somebody told me he was a meat eater also. I have not read this, so I cannot say this. But he did eat meat also in the past life. How, although we hear he's a manjari in spiritual world, but when they come here, how they become covered and then suddenly something is revived. It's amazing what Krishna does. Actually, if we are in Krishna consciousness, each moment is complete bliss, Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam. But most of us are far from experiencing that. But if we really surrender, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. It may sound like I don't understand the verses so much. I cannot give class. Where is this said if you have to become guru or sannyasi or giving class, preaching, unless you have read these Prabhupada books? Nothing, no qualification. Just surrender unto me and you can experience transcendental bliss. But we are not ready to do that. So yeah, Bhakti Vinod Thakur did something amazing which we cannot think. He wrote books and sent abroad. And those days, even this courier and all were not there, but maybe by ordinary post he sent. I don't know how many places he sent, but when Prabhupada went and told, devotees found, maybe in one place, one is Germany for sure. I don't know how many places he sent and what was his income those days. I mean, those days income was small, but even to send abroad, it must have costed so much. But how Krishna empowers, and devotees found his books in the libraries those days. How he connected to the libraries those days, it is incredible how Krishna inspires. Then he had a very powerful son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who took to another level. But anyway, couldn't go himself abroad, although he was so brilliant, looks handsome also, so brilliant, and he's ray of Vishnu. But like that, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality himself, but he doesn't go abroad. He says, Prithviti ache joto nagaradi gram, sarvatra prachar hoibe mor naam. It looked like Mahaprabhu said, but it is not happening. But we know what happened when Prabhupada met first time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. And it's amazing how Prabhupada's life was. He has been trying all the time, tried in India, nothing was working out. His Guru Maharaj asked him to go to West. He didn't have money. He was doing, although he met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj in 1922, if I'm not wrong, first initiation, somehow Prabhupada's life, 22, 33, 44, finally 66, 44, 55, 66, there's a milestone. So I think first initiation is in 33. Sorry again that I have not revised this information before speaking here. But I think hopefully I'm correct. But there is some milestone in 33 also. He met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and he was fully convinced that yes, this is the person I want. He is a pure devotee. Otherwise, his father was also very nice Vaishnav. He wanted Prabhupada to become a good Vaishnav. But like that, and he used to call so many Vaishnavas, feed them. But Prabhupada had seen that they're all kind of cheats. So Prabhupada had kind of lost faith. But when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, his friend wanted to take him. We all know these stories. I'm saying for my and purification, repeating all this. We all know this, but sometimes our knowledge also get covered. So his friend wanted to take him and he said, I know all this, I am no more interested. But he said, no, this one is different. And he took him and they sat and Prabhupada said, you are a young man, you are educated and you have learnt in English. Prabhupada was in Scottish Church College again. And I hope I'm mentioning this information correctly and I'm not mixing up. So he was in those days British College. So he was speaking English and those days he was young. But by the time Prabhupada goes to West, he's an old man. He knew English, but he had a heavy Bengali accent. And when he got down from Jaladuta, he had taken 40 rupees. And it's not that every day somebody was there to finance him, but there is a reason why that 40 rupees came back to India. Of course, Krishna made arrange somehow, now at least even in Vrindavan, some people, those who are not so financially well off also, maybe you cannot make out, they were dressed well because some devotees helped them. Maybe Guru Maharaj told, please help her or please help him. They are supported nicely. Maybe they have some difficulties, but they are supported. At least it happens in Vrindavan because somehow all kind of devotees are here. And by Krishna's arrangement, many people are rich. They are ready to help some devotees who are not so well off financially. So you can't make out that they are not financially well off. Maybe you'll see they have more number of dresses than I, who has some money to at least live. I make my living and have clothing. I'm not supported by them, but maybe I have limited clothes and they have more than me. This is Krishna's bewilderment. So we may be bewildered. Krishna's Maya is Mama Maya Durataya. So Prabhupada came to give the highest. He came and gave that mood, finish this program, this lifetime. Krishna is calling you, but we forgot. There was very much seriousness in the earlier days. And how Prabhupada transformed devotees, it is amazing. We know what class of devotees joined, what class of people joined Prabhupada. But by power of Mahamantra, which Prabhupada talks in this verse also, devotional service begins with chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Yes. So we know this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even if I'm illiterate, this mantra is so easy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Only 16 syllables. 4. Hare Krishna, Ram. Yeah, only these 3 words are there. Hare Krishna. Even I have to think. I'm through a terrible phase, but Krishna may please empower me to speak words useful. So yes, only these 3 syllables, these 3 words are there. Hare Krishna. And I think even class 1 student, or like Prahalad Maharaj says, from a childhood they should take up. So anybody can memorize that. Even 70-year-old, my mother 77-year-old or 90-year-old, sometimes in ISKCON it happens, somebody is initiated, an old lady, maybe she's following everything and she has become qualified to receive first initiation. And few minutes after somebody asks, what's your name? She can hardly remember. That happened during Prabhupada time also, maybe you heard. One time he's in kitchen with some devotees, Nanda Rani Mataji, and they are just happy to be with Prabhupada. Now for us Indians, Nanda Rani, we know some Krishna, something, and for us Nanda Rani is easy name. But for them, Nandarani, they got the name, they forgot also what Nandarani means, they don't care. They are just happy to be with Prabhupada. And they are in the kitchen, Prabhupada says, Nandarani, do you know what does Nandarani means? She doesn't even know Prabhupada is talking to her. And at the time there was, I think, if I'm not wrong, in Lilamrita it comes, both, this is also in Lilamrita, Nandarani. Even Aniruddha, he's calling out Aniruddha for them, maybe by pronunciation, or they have been given this name Aniruddha, he doesn't even know, he cannot make out Prabhupada is calling out my name. This kind of things happen. So in nowadays also, Indian, but old lady, forgot, after initiation, same day, not next day also, it happens, Kali Yuga. Prabhupada came to give us one lifetime program, but somewhere we are lost. Are we anywhere close to that? Are we that serious? And it is so easy, just chant Hare Krishna, even if I'm uneducated, but who cannot chant Mahamantra? And just by chanting Mahamantra, it is possible to attain highest perfection. Even not receiving Brahman initiation, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful. Like the second, this thing, Shishtastakam says, Nam Namakari Bahuda, Nija Sarva Shakti, Statrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha. Etadrishi tava kripa bhagwan mamapi durdaivam ihajani nanuragam. This is recited every day morning, whole Shishtastakam. Sometimes we may be mechanical and like that we may be reciting and not serious. Krishna is so merciful, but truly we have no attraction. As soon as we sit to chant, we have so many things. I may be having some problem if my mother did not have this problem. Today only I need to go to VIG timely and now I have to take my mother to hospital. Why Krishna is giving me this trouble? Or somebody may have a different problem. Maybe they are sincere devotees, they are trying to build temple, but still the mind is planning of building temple, which is not the ideal. We should hear our chanting, not even Prabhupada chanting, which is good to start with, but we should be chanting, we should be hearing what we chant. But it is so difficult, Kali Yuga. It looks like impossible. Will it ever happen to me that I am able to chant one Mahamantra? But it becomes possible one day. Forget 16 rounds. Can we, okay, one mantra? Maybe some of you have heard one Mahamantra. But if it is said with zero deviation, maybe it is difficult still. Maybe I'm in the movement for 15 years. But still it may be that I have finished 16 rounds, I don't even remember. Did I hear one mantra also? I may be whole day planning with my karmi job or my devotional service also. It can be like that. It's so difficult, it looks like it is impossible. Arjuna said, it's so difficult to control mind. It's true. And Prabhupada says, if Arjuna was saying that, what to speak about us? And it looks like, so whatever is going on is okay. Everyone around me is like this, so it's normal. Like Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he was giving class here, He was giving class here. And he said that I was not physically there in the class, I think. Or maybe even if I was there, maybe I'm there for darshan. I'm never there for class because I have a difficulty that if I sit for the class, I'll fall asleep. But I have heard some of the classes, and by Krishna's arrangement, I always hear, I mean, each word is so important. That's why whatever I hear, it is very important. So in this class, Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj is saying, I think when he was becoming brahmachari, I don't think it is about when he took sannyas. His mother, when he was taking a brahmachari life, taking up saffron, his mother was saying him, I think his parents are also ISKCON devotees, but they asked, mother asked him, why can't you be normal? Like it looks like it is abnormal to be a brahmachari or trying to be a sincere devotee. Why don't you just go to temple, chant Hare Krishna, do your job, or even be full-time devotee? But why saffron, where you are like kind of taking vow as if you will not get married? But although in ISKCON it's very Prabhupada is kind and devotees are kind, it is not that once you have taken saffron and your mind is deviating, you cannot change. You are allowed to change, and it is very much authorized. In 932, in this chapter, this thing, Krishna will say, what is that about Falnam? 932, I think it is. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm through this difficult phase, I'm forgetting this verse also. No, it is not 932, it's 30. Yeah. Api chetsu duracharo. It may sound like how much durachar we should tolerate, but ISKCON has seen various things. Many sannyasis fell down. Prabhupada said, yes, I knew it will happen, but I had to take risk. And it may sound like, yeah, in ISKCON everything is acceptable. There is one Prabhupada disciple, Rupanuga, I think his name is. I don't know whether he's still living. I think he is. I'm sorry. I heard something about him from His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu. Okay, I think all of you know this verse. Api chetsu duracharo bhajante mam ananya bhag sadhureva samantavya samayag vyavasthiti hisa. So even if somebody falls down, he should be considered saintly. And in that Prabhupada says, if you do not follow this, if you are criticizing, that means you are not following Krishna's order. And it may sound like, yeah, Prabhupada just made a safe platform for his disciples who may fall down in future. I had this feeling when in, I think, later chapters, I think maybe 18 chapter, there are some chapters. There is one chapter which is about 3 modes, and apart from that, there is one chapter where Krishna is speaking about things in 3 modes. Again, in 18 chapter it comes. So there Prabhupada speaks about charity. 50%, Rupa Goswami set the example of what he earned all his lifetime. He gave 50% to Brahmanas. But now, if you say 50%, it is scary. Who believes it? I don't know even if 1% of ISKCON initiated or non-initiated but sincere devotees, not initiated for some reason, maybe chanting 16 rounds or well-wisher also. 50% looks like painful. How can you say? Even Radheshyam Prabhu, who is such a pure devotee, he says, I don't say 50% because people just do not agree to it. There are so many expenses. How can I give 50%? Even those who are earning a lot, maybe they have a lifestyle. They have come down. Mahaprabhu said, "Bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na poribe." But somehow we have a lifestyle. Maybe previously I used to change my car every year. Now I change in 5 years. They have brought down their lifestyle to something simple. But giving 50%, not just those who are not earning a lot, even those who are earning a lot, I'm very doubtful anybody or even more than 1% is able to give 50%. It sounds like it is, it's not possible. And in Rupa Goswami's example, he's doing from his, at the end of his career, before going to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it may sound like, okay, is it from savings at the end or is it during my lifetime? But we have example also. Kolavecha Sridhar was not waiting until he retires, even while he was earning. And he was earning so little. He used to spend 50% for Ganga Puja. And Mahaprabhu is saying, you are just pretending, you want to make more money from everyone. He used to haggle. And in Mahaprakash Leela, he's saying, yes, so ask for a boon, you are so poor. No, let this happen again and again. They enjoyed that transcendental fight every day. Mahaprabhu coming and trying to bargain the price. He said, no, I'm poor, it's okay. Sometimes, I mean, Krishna says, Bhogaishwarya prasaktatma taya apretya chetasa vyavsaitmika buddhi ek vidhi na vidhiyate. I'm forgetting these verses, although they are on my fingertips. Let me look into the verse. Bhog Aishwarya Prasaktanam. Very kindly, Prabhupada's book is very nicely having this thing. Bhog Aishwarya. Let me look what is the verse. Bhoga. It is 244. Yeah, it is by Krishna's arrangement that I'm forgetting these verses. I know the verse, but I'm forgetting something. Anyway, yeah, Bhog Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apriyata Chetasam Vyavsaitmika Buddhi Samadhauna Vidhiyate. Not just here in Bhagavatam, it is said, Kamasya na Indriya Priti Labo. Life's desires should never be directed to sense gratification. But somehow, in spite of Prabhupada giving this program, we are somehow attached to this sense gratification, big or small scale. This verse says, in the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, who are bewildered by such things. Resolute determination for devotional service to Supreme Lord does not take place. So although Prabhupada came to give the highest, it may sound like, yeah, this person is doing that. It's not, it's okay not to just be simple. 50% Rupa Goswami set the example, Prabhupada says, but no need to follow. So again, you see, we are trying to think, no, already times have passed. 50% is not practical. How can I get, not just those who are earning less, even for those who are earning more. Somehow, maybe income tax takes away so much, but 50% is painful, impossible. If all ISKCON initiated devotees, I don't know how many are initiated devotees, because somehow Krishna, by Krishna's arrangement, ISKCON has big numbers. ISKCON India has grown so big. There are people who are ready to donate, but they are not initiated devotees. Some years back, I cannot say how many years back, but I can confidently say it is until 2016 also. Although ISKCON is already big, so big in India, it's spreading like wildfire. Although the preachers may be thinking you are sitting here and giving lecture, it may look easy, but to convince one devotee is so difficult. It's true, but it is spreading like samsara davanala. It's spreading like fire. Somehow Indians are little pious and they like ISKCON also. Oh, you don't have to be very... Mahaprabhu said, bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na poribe. But ISKCON, everyone is wearing nice dresses. So many such nice Mahaprasad, which I might not have eaten there, maybe because I have no money or I don't spend. Mahaprabhu says, you should stay simple. So I'm trying to be simple. That's why I don't spend on this. I'm trying to be simple, not spending on Mahaprasad. In this Mahaprasad also is not cheap. You see, they are rightly priced actually. Outside also nothing is cheap, and ISKCON is making with such high quality ingredients, especially what comes from DT Mahaprasad, all pure ingredients. So they are not highly priced, but these days people have big income, but we don't have big incomes. That's why maybe it pinches me seeing all the prices. I have been here 15 years, but I don't think I have bought Mahaprasad for 15 times also. Although I had a karmi life where I was engineer, I had some savings, very small savings. Anyway, that savings I don't have anymore, but still I'm doing some service where I get maintenance. And it is sufficient not just to maintain me, it can take care of my mother, but although by Krishna's arrangement, each one of us, I have one sister and my mother, each one is financially independent, and actually now what I'm earning, getting through devotional service, whatever maintenance I'm getting, I'm the poorest member. Both are earning very well. And anyway, but I have not even purchased Mahaprasad 10 times because I try to be simple. But there are people, whether their own money or somehow, you will see every day, and it can be brahmachari. You may wonder how brahmachari has so much money. Every day they are in Mahaprasad. I asked one time one devotee, is it out of devotion they take this Mahaprasad, or they are just greedy about like rasmalai or this thing? Every day 50 rupees, 70 rupees, no problem about spending for myself. When it comes to giving, so much problem, 50% is a pain. But no, own expenses, whether saris, dressing, no problem. Go on doing as much as you like. I'm sorry if I'm being critical, but I want to think about myself. What I have I done, although I'm trying to be serious, where is my situation? If I die tomorrow, am I going back to Godhead? I try to be sincere, but have I reached that? Have I been able to chant one Mahamantra seriously? Or if not, if I have chanted one, which is good, it says one Mahamantra, chanting of one Mahamantra can relieve us from as many sins which we cannot commit in the whole lifetime. We have heard this, but it sounds like a joke. I have already chanted so many Mahamantra, but still problems are coming. They say it's karma. Did I chant? But because we are expert in committing offenses, Paap also we are doing, we are materialistic devotees. So although in Diksha also Guru Maharaj took away all our past sins, but we are again expert in committing sins in this lifetime also, and especially me. Many of you might be very sincere devotees, but it may sound like, is anybody reaching that? But we have such living examples, which is just, we have Prabhupada in his beginning days was only saying, we are not these bodies, we are not this body. Somebody said one day, Prabhupada, they were not initiated. How this actually movement came up is just like Mukunda Maharaj, who was among the first devotees, first batch of devotees who got initiated also. So there is one video, and he has one book. I was staying in Kirtan Ashram earlier, which is kind of ISKCON's women's ashram. So I was staying there, and the devotee who was previously in charge of that ashram, she had that book and she lent me. And day I got the book, it is just unputdownable. And of course, many books are like that, Prabhupada's disciples writing their own experiences. And so many have written so many things, it is impossible to read also. So that name of that book is Miracles at 26th Avenue. I don't know whether I finished in one night, but I'm sure I finished in 2 days. It is simply wonderful. And then recently I saw one of his video, and he's saying how ISKCON has grown. It is really a miracle. When Prabhupada established ISKCON, he is asking devotees to come and sign on this, what is that called? 7 purposes of ISKCON, which is supposed to be, if he is establishing something and it has to be a registered society, they should have some defined purposes. Prabhupada knew. How he knew all this? It is Krishna's arrangement. He was empowered. How he knew? Did he study law? Again, about this also there's one nice story. So he was calling devotees to sign, and they didn't know. They were not surrendered devotees, but they signed. We hear this. All of you know this, but anyway. And at the end, he called even the lawyer who had drafted this. He's asking, he's also one of the signatory there. He did not become Hare Krishna devotee, but anyway, they saw this old man trying something, they signed. There was no way it was looking like it was going to be international society. There was not even a one center, and Prabhupada saying international society. And how it has happened is just really a miracle. That's what Mukunda Maharaj is saying, Mukunda Goswami. Yeah, about this, there are so many these apps. I don't know how they are made, but some Kali Yuga, some nice things are happening. Like, although internet is so bad, now because of this cloud storage, so many recordings are there. Although maybe I am Bengali only, and I understand no English, no Hindi. There are no Bengali classes in Vrindavan. But you can catch through this. Of course, I may be a fool not able to operate this smartphone. But otherwise, through smartphone, you can catch Mayapur. Otherwise, your own Guru Maharaj recorded lecture or whatever. So there are everything has good and bad sides. So about this Prabhupada's miracles also, another, how Krishna empowers specially. So this is, so there was one app, I forgot what, I don't have it anymore. I think it is called ISKCON Radio or something. So in my old beginning years of Krishna consciousness, when I joined the movement, of course I didn't even think I'll take initiation. But I was chanting 16 rounds, but I didn't know cooking. Even today I don't know, and I don't like, but now I know to the extent that I can cook and eat. Maybe you will not like it, but I can live, I can stay alive. So I was hearing only Prabhupada. Those days CDs were there. So I bought a CD player. And in my years, I joined ISKCON in 2006 and came here in 2010. In my beginning years, I was so serious that I did no prajalpa. I did not ask my roommate or anybody in my office, how many brothers and sisters you have? What is your father? Actually, think of it. How is it important? Even if your father was prime minister and you are full number one, what is the use? Or maybe you are also great and your father was also great. These information, statistics, useless things. But sometime we talk. So in my beginning years, I have never spoken. But nowadays, maybe some people I asked, oh, how many brothers, sisters you are all of them devotees? Are your parent devotees? So maybe some prajalpa I have done now. But those days, I did not ask. I was staying as a paying guest in one place in my beginning years. And there was one Bengali girl, I'm Bengali. I never went home and told my mother that there is a Bengali girl. I knew her name, but neither I asked her, what is your father? I knew they were students. Everybody except me, they were Ayurvedic student. This one was probably not Ayurvedic student. I never told my mother that there is a Bengali girl. Because as soon as I tell her, her question will be, oh, what is her name? What is her father doing? How does it matter whether her name is Archana or Sonali? How does it matter? But these are all Prajalpa category. We talk so much, we don't even think. We read Prajalpa should not be there, but it's there. So if I die today, let me tell about what is so miraculous, how devotees are empowered. So this is about Brahmananda and Garga Muni Prabhu. I think it is Garga Muni Prabhu. So there was probably this ISKCON radio or something like that app was there, which I don't have. So, you know, CDs also. So I had a CD player which had many recordings. And these CDs I had bought from Mayapur. I joined ISKCON in Baroda, and by the time I was in Baroda, I had already read Bhagavad Gita. So I knew something. So I was very favorable. I was giving donations. So I became life member. I had, although I did not agree 50% I should give, but I was very generously giving donation. So I wanted to give for life member also. And devotees told me, I went in to Baroda in May, I think, May 26 or something. And first Sunday itself I reached ISKCON. Fortunately, by Krishna's arrangement, Baroda, ISKCON is not very far off in outskirts. They have big place, but it is not outskirts. Then I was in Nagpur before coming here. Baroda I stayed only 11 months. So it was walkable distance, maybe 10-15 minutes. And first Sunday I reached there, that time temple was closed and this was being played. So this CD also, you know, in the olden days, these cassettes were there and you can easily forward and reach that point. But CDs, if you have missed, to go back to that point, it is not easy. Even now with this, to go back to that point, it is little difficult. Although in this, you can move 2 minutes back, but exactly with this, you can move the pointer if you are playing through the recording, but it's not easy. So I was hearing with rapt attention. Nowadays, I do not hear whether my chanting or class with rapt attention. So even this radio is like that, you know. If you miss it, you cannot rewind it. So I was hearing carefully. And I think it is Gargamuni Prabhu who is saying that first time when he saw dictaphone, by then I don't know whether they were initiated devotees or just seeing that this Swamiji is trying to say something nice. I don't know what class they were that time. When he saw first time in the shop, he was so impressed and he wanted to buy for Prabhupada. And he understood from the shop, they are Americans. Like now in ISKCON also, these Prabhupada disciples, because they are American, they are so abreast with technology. Maybe in their days, in their country also, there was no computer, but they know computer. And they are fully, for me, although I'm engineer, I don't know too much of these. But for these people, many of them know everything. Writing email, maybe some Indian devotees do not know, but I think there is not even one American disciple who doesn't know writing email. So they are somehow, all these, I don't know whether they had computer those days. So when he saw that, he was very much inspired to buy it. And he learned from the shopkeeper through the manual and from the shopkeeper how to operate it. And he brought it to Prabhupada. And he gave it to Prabhupada. And he's trying to explain Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, just keep it, I know. How Prabhupada knew? He was from India where there was nothing of this kind. How Prabhupada knew it? He didn't have to train, he didn't hear from him. But Prabhupada maybe pressed the button, he knew how to use it and he used it, and what he has done, we all know that later on he was not writing, he spoke and devotees were transcribing. So this is just amazing how this movement has come up. But in spite of seeing all these miracles, somehow I have no seriousness, I have no attraction to holy name. If I die tomorrow, will I go back to Godhead? It's a big question mark. Maybe some of my well-wisher, my mother is old, maybe one of my friend. Oh, I have to stop. Thank you for coming and reminding me. I'll stop soon. Somebody will inform ISKCON Vrindavan, Shakti Swarupini Mataji has passed away. And there will be an announcement. One of our community members, Shakti Swarupini Mataji, has passed away. Let us chant one Maha Mantra and pray for her journey back to Godhead. For a safe journey back to Godhead. Is that enough to ensure my journey back to Godhead? You know, this is the last instance I'll tell and I'll stop here. I think GRC, Govardhan Retreat Center, many of you may be aware. In Govardhan, ISKCON has built up mostly by disciples and well-wishers of Burijan Prabhu and Sachinanand Swami. I'm serving in the VIG, and VIG holds annual retreats. Govardhan Retreat and Holy Name Retreat. So Govardhan Retreat started in 2010 and I think Japa Retreat started in 2006. So I think GRC started in 22, 3, 4. 4 I did not go to the retreat, 3. I think it started in 2022, GRC. So they wanted to build a facility because, you know, Brajwasi standards hotels and ashrams, they were dirty, nowhere close to ISKCON standards, especially Westerners. So they wanted, and somehow it has come up, although by Krishna's arrangement, some problems here, there, like Krishna to bring a detachment in us. Here the walls are always, the ceiling, not the ceiling, this wall paint is peeling off. These problems are there all over Braj by Krishna's arrangement to bring detachment in us. But they have built up a nice facility like MVT, which Westerners need. So it was inaugurated in 2022. And I think in this ceremony, if I'm not wrong, I don't think it was the retreats. I went to that ceremony opening. Many devotees came. So 2022 Kartik first day, I think it was inaugurated, and it was probably in October. And around those days, not that previous day, but around those days, maybe 1 or 2 days before, Sachinanand Swami's father had passed away. So Bhurijan Prabhu said, let us observe silence and pray for the departed soul to whatever destination he has attained. And he mentioned that he has passed away 2 days back, 3 days back, or whatever, or previous night. I don't remember that clearly. But Bhurijan Prabhu, as he is, not just because he's American, he has a good English and good understanding of Shastra, but he chose his words so carefully to whatever destination he has gone. He is talking about Sachinanand Maharaj, this thing. Whereas in Prahlad Maharaj, this pastime in Canto 7, it said 21 generations will be liberated. That way, Sachinanand Swami Maharaj, father, has given not just one son who has become such dedicated devotee, who is sannyasi, who has dedicated from his childhood. He has one more brother, Vaidyanath Prabhu, who is a grihastha, but who is also a Prabhupada disciple. That means he didn't join the movement later. He has been practicing Krishna consciousness. I don't know whether he's married or not, but he's in white. He's not a sannyasi, but he's a sincere devotee. And he has been practicing, maybe many of you know or do not know. So somebody, a father who has given 2 sons to Prabhupada, Bhurijan Prabhu did not say he's gone back to Godhead, please pray for him. So I'm not sure if just by these prayers, should I be assured just because pure devotees are praying, one who is taking the lead. And there may be, in the Mangalartis, there are some outsiders also, well-wishers also may not be chanting. But there are sincere devotees who may be sannyasi or not sannyasis. There are pure devotees in the audience also who are not in the front stage, but maybe somebody has chanted for me. Is it enough to take me back to Godhead? Am I qualified? What have I done? So let me pray and I'll stop here now and beg for your mercy that please pray for me that I can become sincere, at least from this day on. Thank you. I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. I'm already over time. Is there any question or comment? No? So we stop here. I'm sorry I went over time. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai.